Hi. I now and again during the year I do day sales from Brancaster Staithe in North Norfolk, but you have to think a little bit carefully about the situation in Brancaster Staithe. The harbour is what's called a drying harbour. In other words, you can sail either side of high water. The maximum you can sail probably is about 2 hours either side of high water. But there's an alternative, is that you can take the last of the ebb out of the harbour in the morning and return on the first of the flood tide in the evening. This is what I call day sails. I have two destinations usually if I'm going out day sailing, one of which is across the Wash to Skegness, which is about 17 miles across, and the other is east down to Blakeney, and that's what I did on this particular occasion. It was end of September 2024. High water was at about 5:10 in the morning, so we had to get out of the harbour by about 7 a.m. The advantage of going down to Blakeney is that you've got the ebb tide along the coast with you. But it's a funny situation on the North Norfolk coast, in the fact that the tide reverses direction 2 hours before high and low water. So we're already close to 2 hours after high water, which means we've only got about 2 hours of ebb tide with us along the coast. Well, that's enough, usually with a decent wind, to get you past the entrance to Wells, where the sand sticks out a fair way and increases the strength of the tide. Once you pass Wells, you can tuck down closer to the coast and make your way along to Blakeney. On this particular occasion, there was a southerly wind which was gradually going around to the southeast, but there was also a fairly hefty northerly swell, which didn't affect us when we were sailing. It was nice smooth swell from the north. All it meant there were some significant breaking waves on the beach and also across the entrance to Blakeney Harbour, which meant that having sailed down there, we couldn't actually get in, and it wasn't worth the risk trying to sail into the end of Blakeney Channel for a bit of shelter with these waves rolling in as well. The danger is that you're going to surf the boat and end up tipping it over. So what we did, the tide had already turned west, so we just turned back and headed back towards Brancaster. The swell was much reduced further west, and we managed to get back into the end of Brancaster Harbour for some shelter and then some lunch just after, about an hour after low water. But then we've got a long wait because we can't get back up onto and recover the boats until about 2 hours before high water. So we had a bit of a wander around, went out for another sail and came back in, and then gradually sailed up and recovered the boat, I think about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, just about 3 o'clock. But it was a good day and a nice sail. Good morning. Now 6:43 at Brancaster. Ted Hogan and I gone out all day, so we've got the last of the ebb tide. Probably got about another half an hour, 3/4 of an hour before we need to launch. Get out. We're going to take the tide east down towards Wells, maybe Blakeney, see how far we go. Forecast is southerly today, picking up this afternoon, but by the time it picks up we should be back in. But looking like a nice day, beautiful dawn anyway. Sailing out with the dawn sun behind us. Just coming down towards the entrance to the harbour. The forecast is southerly 9 knots to start with, just about what we've got, probably maybe a bit less. But yeah, all very pleasant. Towards the end of the channel, heading out, and then we'll be turning a little bit further, so we're going to keep due east. Tide is with us in about 2 hours, so we'll see how far we get. Heading towards the dawn sun. Lovely, got a few big bees of geese flying over the top, heading out down into the water. But it's a fabulous morning, it really is. On our way back now from Blakeney entrance, Blakeney Point. I'll show you on the chart where we are. We left Brancaster here, see Brancaster Wreck, and we went down the coast past Burnham Overy entrance, past Wells entrance, and it's Wells that you can see up in front there where the trees are, and we went all the way down, and we got past the fairway buoy there to see if we could find the entrance. Went down to about here, and then decided that was tide was against us then anyway, but, and then decided we come all the way back. So we're going to have a go past Wells again, drop down in Holcombe Bay, have a look. Sometimes there's some little hooks of sand here you can get behind, and then we'll creep along the coast all the way back to Brancaster, see if we can get back in the end of the channel. A couple of hours after low water, and then we'll just anchor in here somewhere and wait for the tide to get us back up. And it's been quite a good day really. We're doing tide with us, we're doing about 5 or 6 knots, so it's quite pleasant on it. The wind's on a close reach now, so nice.
Yeah, it's nice to have the warm sun on your back.
Yeah.
It's a bit cooler when we were beating into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice now. Back at Brancaster now. Time for a bite to eat. It's only about 12 o'clock. It seems like we've been out for a week. Just anchored in the entrance to Brancaster Channel. Waves getting in weren't too bad. Only got one that picked us up. But, yeah, not to bake it in. Yeah, just got to wait for some tide now.